Good afternoon and welcome to the introduction to the 6th Form Enrichment courses. In a moment you will hear about the different options that are available to you and the qualifications that you can work towards. I think this is such a great strength of our A-Level and BTEC 6th Form programmes as it adds breadth to your 6th Form experience. There's such a great range of options available to you and you'll be following the courses across 2 years for 2 double periods a fortnight. So before we watch the videos and find out the details of the courses, I just wanted to offer a few tips and reminders. Firstly, make the right choice. But what does that mean? Don't simply choose what your friends are doing. It may be that you end up with a number of your friends on your chosen course, but don't make that the main reason for your decision. Think about your interests, think about your future aspirations, and think about how you can add breadth to your programme of study. In the past, I have seen students who, looking back to when they were sat in your position, have said that they wish they had made a different choice. They have said that they didn't think carefully about the options available to them and perhaps what might enhance their 6th Form programme of study. So don't make that mistake. Think carefully. Think about a course that will sustain your interest across 2 years and make sure you make the right decision for you. So once we've watched the videos, you'll be sent a Google form which you'll need to complete and indicate your first and second choices. In the past, we've been really fortunate to accommodate either people's first or second choices. So please don't worry. We will do our best to make sure we can place everyone in their chosen courses. But it's really important that you make sure you adhere to the deadlines. Please do go home, think about it and consider your options. But you must make sure that you've made your decision and submitted your choices by midday tomorrow. So now, listen carefully, enjoy the videos, and I hope you find something that will really interest you.
Astronomy studies the origin and evolution of the universe and everything in it. This branch of science has revolutionized the way we think, the way we see our world, and our place in the larger universe. Throughout history, humans have looked up at the stars to navigate the vast oceans and to answer questions of where we came from and how we got here. As far back as 40,000 years ago, humans kept track of time using the knowledge of the stars. Astronomy has led to the creation of the calendar, which has become an inevitable part of our lives. Our ancestors mapped the night sky into constellations, as this made observations easier. Cultures back then saw the heavenly bodies as gods, and the movements of these gods across the night sky were believed to have influence on earthly beings. In modern times, astronomy has had a big impact on the development of different antennas, infrared radiation, radio waves, internet, GPS, and other tools and technologies that allow us to communicate with people all over the world. One may think that the world is wasting so much money on observing objects that we would never reach up to. But if we never understood the physics of the Earth and Moon through astronomy, we would never have understood how to have artificial satellites that power most of the modern communication. Geosynchronous satellites would never have been understood, and your GPS would never have been invented. Astronomy has also had a big impact on medicine, industry, aerospace sector, and in our everyday life.
Alison here from the art department, and I'm talking to you about the school service project that you can choose for enrichment. Basically, you've probably seen a lot of blank walls or old displays around the school, and that's what we're going to tackle in this course. So we are going to take these places, look at them and create artwork specifically for that location, whether that is painting directly on the wall, like what's going on behind me, or creating artwork that fits a certain shape. We will be coming up with ideas together and then making these reality. So it can be painting, it can be sculpture, it can be ceramics. We will try different things for different locations. And it won't be taken down every so often. We are talking about permanent pieces of art that will go and be in the school for a long time. So you are creating a legacy, and that's what we want to make. But it's not just as simple as painting directly on the wall. You'll be given a brief or slight instructions by the department where it's going to go on what sort of thing they want. So we'll come together, we'll think of all ideas, and then I'll show you how to write a proposal. And this will be a really important part of the project because it will make sure that it has strong contextual references, strong historical or solid grounding that makes it a truly interesting piece of artwork that will stand the test of time. These proposals will go to the governors, the headmaster. You'll need to adapt them in order to make sure that everyone is happy with what they'll look like, which is so many important skills that you could use in many, many jobs that you want to go into in the future. If you want to be an entrepreneur or a lawyer, I can see these skills being so important. We have places like this in the sports hall where we have these huge walls and corridors and staircases that need artwork placing on it. So we're thinking huge paintings that can go directly on the wall. But really, if you have ideas, bring them. The Lawrence Building, another place with huge walls that we've been asked to create artwork for. So if you have any ideas or want to be part of filling these walls, this is your option. And then you've got places like this in the Queen's Building and the Allison Building that really needs a total overhaul. But the first place in the school needs to be looked at, and the first place we'll create artwork for is right here, which is just outside the chapel where the main reception currently is. And this wall needs to have something on it, something exciting that we'll discuss as a group better. I've already spoken to the Reverend McGonaghy about creating some sort of mural with ceramics and tiles, but apart from that, we really need you to help us create it. So that's about it, really. If you want to create a piece of artwork that will be in the school for years and years to come, and you can come back and visit it when you come back, then this is the option to join. Hopefully see some of you soon. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm going to give some details of the Thursday afternoon enrichment course that is an offer from the food department. We're going to be offering a cookery course which will give you knowledge and long-term life skills and confidence to enjoy cooking meals at home, which you can then transfer to cooking at uni or working at home in the UK or abroad. We're looking at finishing in the Nicholsmith's term of upper 6 and also offering you certificates in food safety and healthy eating, which are online training courses which will be completed in the lesson plan. You'll gain an understanding of how to economise when planning meals to cook, and you'll be encouraged to inspire others by passing on the skills and recipes that you've learnt. The course is based on the proposition that being able to cook is an essential life skill, which empowers people to make changes to benefits to health and well-being. We're going to be following recipes and at some point cooking and preparing a 2-course meal, and that could be a starter and a main course and a dessert, or a starter and a dessert. And then you're going to record ways to pass on information to other people, so maybe designing a recipe book or taking photos, having a family meal, and recording how you've passed on information about cooking. The sort of recipes that we're going to make will range from very simple boiled egg and soldiers right through fruit smoothies, different types of soups, salads, making fresh pasta, making pesto sauces, potato wedges, bolognese, cooking chicken, making sure we can cook meat safely and not give people
I was 13 when I first got access to a computer.
My parents bought me a Macintosh in 1984 when I was 8 years old.
I was in 6th grade.
I learned to code in college.
Freshman year, first semester, intro to computer science.
I wrote a program to play tic-tac-toe.
I think it was pretty humble beginnings. I think the first program I wrote asked things like, what's your favorite color? Or how old are you?
I first learned how to make a green circle and a red square appear on the screen.
The first time I actually had something come up and say, hello world, and I made a computer do that. It was just astonishing.
Learning how to program didn't start off as wanting to learn all of computer science or trying to master this discipline or anything like that. It just started off because I wanted to do this one simple thing. I wanted to make something that was fun for myself and my sisters. And I wrote this little program and then basically just add a little bit to it. And then when I needed to learn something new, I looked it up either in a book or on the internet and then added a little bit to it.
It's really not unlike kind of playing an instrument or something, or playing a sport. It starts out being very intimidating, but you kind of get the hang of it over time.
Coding is something that can be learned, and I know it can be intimidating. A lot of things are intimidating, but what isn't?
A lot of the coding that people do is actually fairly simple. It's more about the process of breaking down problems than, sort of coming up with complicated algorithms as people traditionally think about it.
You don't have to be a genius to know how to code. You need to be determined.
Addition, subtraction, that's about it.
You should probably know your multiplication tables.
You don't have to be a genius to code. Do you have to be a genius to read?
Even if you want to become a race car driver or play baseball or build a house, and all of these things have been turned upside down by software.
What it is computers are everywhere. You want to work in agriculture? Do you want to work in entertainment? Do you want to work in manufacturing? It's just all over.
The Computer Science Enrichment course will allow you to follow an online Udemy course or a bespoke Python course. This will provide another string to your bow when it comes to your personal statement, CV, and on interviews. The ability to code and understand what can be done in code is super important in much of what you will be doing in the future. So for more details, please see Mr. Kiff or anyone in the Computer Science department. Hope to see you on the course.
Hi, I'm Miss Aaron and I'm here to give you a quick overview of the Institute of Leadership Management Level 3 Award that you could choose for your enrichment programme. I'll give you a bit of a key overview, and if you've got any questions at the end, feel free to email me before you sign up for your choices. Okay, so what is the qualification? So it's essentially for anyone with a position of responsibility that wants to build their leadership training. I'll read these 4 key points and then I'll explain some more details afterwards. So what does it mean for you? You can gain a range of key management skills and put them into practice. You can build your leadership capabilities. You can learn how to motivate and engage teams to manage relationships effectively. And you can develop your skills through using your knowledge, values, motivation, and reflection. So why is this award good? It's an internationally recognised award. So the Institute of Leadership of Management is an organisation where people in senior leadership in the workplace will join. So therefore employers will know about it. It will look good on your UCAS, universities will know about it. It is a well-recognised award. What else is good about it? So you gain free membership to the ILM or student membership for the duration of the course. Once you sign up, you'll get your activation. You can go on the website and have a look at there. What's on there? There are leadership tools, there are resources, there are free lunchtime webinars, there are podcasts, there are things that might be able to support your leadership skills or your studies in other areas. So that's quite good. What else might you need to know? I gave a few FAQs here. So it is important that you hold a position of responsibility. I put a few examples on the screen there that you might have in school, whether that's sports team, CCF, music, drama, VSA, whatever it is, it has to be a position of responsibility. Preferably, I'd like it to be in school so I can help monitor it, but if you're a volunteer or in charge of an organisation or something outside of school, that can work as well. What the ILM requires is you to learn a bit of theory, You can practice the skills through your position of responsibility and then do some self-reflection. And that self-reflection will be in a workbook, which brings me on to my next point. You might be like, okay, this is an enrichment course. I don't really want lots of work to do. I'm a bit worried about you using the word coursework. You've got to be willing to complete this workbook for us, but don't worry about the extent of it. So hopefully you can see the questions here. So nothing is too taxing. I'll teach you a little bit of theory. You can come into your workbook and answer the questions, or you'll go away and you'll practice in your position of responsibility. You'll do something with the CCF, and then you'll reflect on it. So question A is more generic. So what leadership styles might you use when leading others? And that'll be something that will come from our lessons. And then question C for the workbook here is more of a reflection. So identify a situation from your experience when your choice of leadership style has been influenced by one of these factors. So if you're interested in building your leadership ability, if you're interested in this course, please do sign up. And I hope to see a few of you next Thursday. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Priest and I'm going to talk to you about the Beginner's Enrichment course in Italian Pleader. Italian is a fantastic language to learn. It's the most studied language in the world for its culture and pleasure. Studying Italian can broaden your horizons and give you a new perspective on the world. In fact, in the words of famous Italian filmmaker Federico Fellini, una lingua diversa è una diversa visione della vita. A different language is a different vision of life. Italian is for food, fashion, music, art, culture, but it's also for holidays. Italian also offers people many opportunities for further study and for work, being one of the most important countries in Europe. The best thing about Italian is that si legge come si scrive. It is read as it is written. It is pronounced exactly in the way that it is written. So it becomes quite easy to start using it from the very first day. If you know French and Spanish and possibly even Latin, these can also help you with Italian because they all are Romance languages and have a similar grammar and sentence structure. We've chosen the Pleader Italian course because it'll get you up to an intermediate level fairly quickly, a level that's fairly similar to GCSE, but it emphasises real-life conversation in situations which you might find yourself in when you're travelling, working or living in Italy. You'll learn to be able to speak about yourself, your friends and your family. You'll learn to be able to navigate your way around town, to buy things, order food in a restaurant, and speak about cultural events and festivals such as carnivals. You'll also be able to learn how to get yourself out of more tricky situations. You'll also be able to talk about your educational studies, apply for a language course or maybe an exchange in Italy, as well as apply for a job and write a CV in Italian. You'll learn through conversation, through listening and speaking, as well as reading and writing. But we'll also focus on the cultural elements of the language, so we'll watch movie clips as well as songs and listen to music. Once every half term, there'll be an Italian film club after school where we can watch Italian films. All of these will help you progress towards an intermediate level and to sit the exam at the end of the course, which will be in March 2022, so well before you start your A-level exams. I hope this has given you some idea of what it might be like to study Italian. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch with me. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.
Good afternoon, L6th. I'll be talking you through business enrichment. So this is a 2-year programme. So in lower 6 you will complete Young Enterprise, and in upper 6 it will be CISI. So Young Enterprise, I'll just move out of the way. Young Enterprise, essentially you'll be setting up a student company. Okay, you will each take on the director. You always take on a role of director. This will include roles such as managing director, finance, HR, digital director, sustainability and operations. Okay, so you will each have a role as a director or possibly an assistant director as well. You will be setting up a student company. You will each put in your own money. You will purchase shares into this company, ranging from £5 to £10 each, and you are going to create a product that you will sell to the public for a profitable enterprise, or it can be for a charitable purpose as well. Okay. In the corner here, you can see what the last group did. So their product was champagne glasses, gin glasses, which they decorated and personalised to sell. This was their logo, this is their company name, Clink. Okay, so you can see it's very much a hands-on programme where you'll be setting up your student company and you will be running this. Really important in this course, the key skills is all about leadership. Okay, leadership, teamwork, communication, project management. It's really what you can bring to this course. It's fun, it's independent, but please do beware, it's not the easy option at all. You will be very hands-on from the beginning until the end of the course. Okay, so lower 6, you are signing up for Young Enterprise. When we move on to upper 6, it changes and you will be partaking in CISI. CISI stands for Chartered Institute for Securities and Investment. This is all to do with the financial industry. Okay, so you'll be learning about the financial services and how the businesses in the financial industry are regulated and operated. The key content is this bit here. Just a quick breakdown. Look at ethics and integrity. You look at different financial products like bonds, derivatives, equities and banking, different types of banks. And really important, upper 6, you are assessed by an exam. Okay, you will sit a CISI exam at the end of upper 6. Young Enterprise and lower 6 is not assessed by an exam. It really is the ownership of your product, the journey that you go through. In upper 6, you will have an exam for this particular course. Okay, upper 6 is much more academic. The lessons are very structured. We'll be going through this content in the lessons, and then you will sit a 1-hour exam at the end of the course. Okay, so please be aware, business enrichment, there are 2 parts. Okay, first part is Young Enterprise, lower 6. Second part, CISI in upper 6, and you'll be signing up to both of these. It's not one or the other. Okay, I hope that was useful. I hope some of you are interested in that, and we look forward to welcoming you to business enrichment.
Good afternoon, lower 6. My name is Mr. Monroe. Many of you will know me from previous lessons. I'm here really to pitch the importance of the TOK Enrichment course, and really just to try to make you understand the importance of a course like this and why you should sign up for it. This is one of the few opportunities that you will have to challenge the truth claims in all of your chosen subjects. For instance, if you're a scientist or a mathematician, historian, etc., what we've got to do is try to establish how important it is to understand what evidence means in all of these subjects. So not only is it an interesting way to explore the truth claims in your subjects, it will help you develop important skills to write A-level and A-star essays. It will help you in your UCAS statements. and it will be a real impressive addition in your discussion if you're ever called for an interview. So, for example, can we really know what counts as good music in art? What's a good bit of poetry? What counts as evidence in history and science? Can there ever be a universally accepted sense of right and wrong? What is the role of reason and emotion, faith, when acquiring knowledge? So in other words, the TOK enrichment course is, in summary, is what do we know and how do we know it? And I'm hoping that you will see the benefits of this course, the benefits to you as a person, and equally the benefits for you as an A-level student. So what do we know and how do we know it will be the basics of this course, and one of the main reasons I think you should do it is the importance that it will cross all of your subjects. So I look forward to seeing you all there, and if not all, definitely some. Hopefully there'll be a summary that I can attach to the video, and if you've got any questions, of course, I'm sure you can ask Mr. Sellers or myself, and I'll be happy to fill you in. But thank you very much for listening. TOK enrichment, it really is, I believe, essential to all of your studying and to all of your subjects. So bye for now, and hopefully I'll see you soon.
Hello, my name is Mr. Wright. I'm teaching physics, and I'm going to talk to you about how you can choose a physics-based project for the Crest Gold Award. So the main thing about Crest Gold Award is that you need to choose a project and a question that you find personally interesting, because you're going to have to spend 70 plus hours of a combination of researching, doing a literature review, doing design for an experiment or some sort of novel feature to your investigation, and you have to write it all up in a very formal manner, and then you're going to need to submit it. So the most important thing is to have a question or some sort of project, whether it be to find information out about something or something you want to build that really inspires you. And it can literally be anything. It can be any topic at all. The important thing is that you're going to follow a standard approach of researching the project. So here are some questions that I found interesting. Some of them are taken from the Crest website, some of them I just made up. So first of all, both the top one is on the website. Design a robotic ball boy. So you'll need to know about robotics in order to make a machine that can drive over to the ball and pick it up. But you'll also need to know something about AI, artificial intelligence, because it will need to know how to get there. And computer vision. It will have to have cameras. It will have to understand something of its environment. It will have to recognise what the ball is. You don't want it picking up a stone and taking it over to the tennis player. Similarly, it will need to recognise what the tennis player is, so it knows where to go. You don't want it driving over to a chair or something and trying to give the ball to it. It doesn't have to be for tennis. It could be for table tennis. It could be for cricket. It could be for all sorts of things. Then again, maybe you don't have to make a robotic ball boy at all. You could make a robot that could pick up plastic from the sea, which is shown in the picture below. Again, this has similar challenges in terms of robotics, AI, and computer vision. Nobody is going to ask you to write a routine or a program to actually recognise a ball. All of that's already been written and is publicly available. Computer vision, there are many, many, many publicly available free open source computer vision libraries, AI libraries, but you will need to learn how to program, that's for sure, to do either of those projects. That said, almost any STEM field at the moment, you'll have to learn a certain amount of programming when you do your degree. And if you're choosing to do physics, you'll have to learn a huge amount of programming, actually. So this is a good opportunity to start that, if that's what you were thinking of doing. Here are some other questions. Investigate aerodynamic sails for there's a massive range of different designs of sails. Some are quite simple. Many of them are very sophisticated and involve lift and drag forces. So the cross-section is very important. So this would be an investigation in terms of aerodynamics. You'd have to build a test rig. You'd have to have different designs of sails. Maybe you can print them off a 3D printer or something like that to investigate the characteristics of each kind of sail. There are some very odd sails that use obscure effects in physics, like the Magnus effect. The Magnus effect is the reason why when you spin a ball, like a cricket ball or a golf ball or a tennis ball, if you spin it in the right way, like put spin on it, it goes sideways. What you might not realise is in the early part of the 20th century, that effect was also used to propel ships. You could take a very thin, long sail and spin it, and it could actually drive the ship forwards, the Magnus effect. There are other odd sail designs as well, but all of these would require the same approach, building a test rig of some sorts in order to understand it. And if you couldn't physically build a rig, you'd have to simulate it in some sort of simulation software. Another idea is to build a pinhole camera. You may remember building a pinhole camera in your second or third year. It's actually a very sophisticated optical system which you can investigate. There's all sorts of things you could investigate. One approach is to take a webcam, break off its lens, take off the filter that's underneath it, so you've just got access to the raw CCD, the chip, and put that on the back of the pinhole camera where the image would normally form, and you'll find you have a digital pinhole camera. You could experiment with it. Maybe you could compare it to a real digital camera. Maybe you could see how tweaking different factors affects the performance of that camera. Another interesting fact is that there's a creature called the Nautilus that looks a bit like a snail that lives in the oceans around England and around the UK and has pinhole cameras for eyes. It's the only known organism that actually has pinhole cameras for eyes to see with. Well, your digital pinhole camera would be an ideal vehicle, ideal test rig, in order to see how well the Nautilus could actually see. How well does it see in murky conditions? How well does it see with different colours of light, for example? Now these are questions that I find interesting, and I would be quite curious to pursue investigations on both of those. But the most important thing is you must choose something that you find motivating. Another one suggested on the website is investigating crash damage. They suggest you build a model car and you put various accelerometers and things like that inside it, connected to data logging devices like Arduinos or Raspberry Pis, or maybe something more sophisticated, maybe something from National Instruments, in order to gather the information as the object crashes to understand the forces taking place inside it. But why cars? Why not crashing aeroplanes? Most of our knowledge that we have about car crashes comes from simulations and crashing model aeroplanes. Real aeroplanes are far too expensive to crash. Maybe you could find out whether air crashes can ever really be survivable. Could you have something equivalent to a seatbelt that might, or an airbag that might really improve your chances of survival? I googled today what the smallest parachute is needed to survive a crash from an aeroplane, and the answer was a parachute the size of a door. Although you might shatter your spine and legs in the process, but you've got a chance of surviving. Again, that could be the beginning point of a whole arc of investigations. Like, what's the minimal size parachute? Is it really the case that you could jump off a building with? How effective is a large umbrella at slowing down your fall? Does it really improve your survival? There's all sorts of questions about falling and survivability you might ask, and come up with experiments and investigations to answer, either through book work and literature reviews or through designing real experiments. Solar power. Can you run a home? Can you legitimately run a home purely from solar power? In the UK, should you angle the solar panels? Should you have lenses to collect more solar radiation, or maybe mirror systems? Can you use frequencies of light which the solar panel itself is not really supposed to be used to turn into electricity? Can you maybe use some sort of fluorescent material to change the frequency of light so they can be used? All sorts of questions spring from that one question. can, of course, make your own solar cells out of dyes such as beetroot juice. However, how efficient are they? And how long do they last? So can you realistically use them to generate serious power? Now, all of these questions I find very interesting. And, I think I could spend a fair amount of time on each one. But the most important thing of the Crest Gold Award, the most important thing is that you choose a good question that you find interesting, that you're prepared to do the bookwork for, the literature review where you read all the background knowledge that you need to know and thoroughly understand it, so you can understand what sorts of experiments you should construct in order to acquire reasonable information from them. Anyway, good luck.
Hi everyone, welcome to Sports Leadership Award. Myself and Miss will be talking to you about what to expect if you choose this course and expectations.
So in the lower sixth, you'll cover the level 2 course. This looks at basic leadership skills, both within your group as CSLA leaders and also in the wider school community, leading the younger students. It'll give you a good insight and a good opportunity to lead. Level 2.
There we go. In level 3, so your upper 6th year, you'll be expanding your knowledge and leadership skills from what you've learnt previously, and you'll be leading it to a group of children, so a younger group of pupils, and also looking at the sort of more advanced teaching and learning, and you'll actually be given the opportunity to coach and teach disabled people as well. So it's looking at your leadership skills, looking at how you work with people, and also being able to adapt your teaching and coaching to a different group of people.
So why should you take this course? It's a really good opportunity to build your confidence. Not already if you're a confident person, when you get in front of a group of people, your confidence can sort of go and shatter. But also if you're not a confident person, it forces you to become confident and to have to fake it to make it, okay? You learn how to lead a group. So whatever job you want to go into, you will have some element of leadership. So it's really, really good. You will obviously lead your own age group, also younger people, and as Mr. Simpson-Crick said, disabled people as well. You learn to work with others. So if teamwork is not your strength, then you can come and work on it. Again, if it is your strength, then it might be a really good course for you to take if you like working with others. Whatever job you go into, you will have to work with other people, which it's all right. But yeah, you have to work with other people. So team skills and leadership skills, and it also will expand your sporting knowledge. You won't just be leading in one sport. For example, the current upper sixth, they've done Zumba sessions, they've done football sessions, rugby sessions, hockey, athletics, and sort of multi-sport sessions where it doesn't fall into one sport bracket. Lots of different skills involved there.
Thank you, Miss. Reasons why you might not probably choose this course if it's not for you. Don't think it's an easy choice, because it definitely isn't. If you speak to other people in other year groups who have been through the course, they will tell you that there is a lot of paperwork involved, and you complete a booklet throughout the course. So we will need you to complete that in your own time, if not in the lesson. And as well as that, you have to complete additional hours outside of school, whether it be volunteering at your local football club or helping out at a dance club. Okay, anything like that is probably looking at 10 hours outside of school. So if you think that your work and A-levels or IB are taking precedent, and you really want to focus on that, and you don't think there's too much time to play with, then maybe this is a course not for you. But if you have any questions, please let myself or Miss know. Email us, come and see us, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions about it.
Okay, thanks for listening.
Thank you. Back again. So we've got to mention that if you are interested to join the course, we are having to cap the number of spaces on the course. So we will have to limit it to 18 spaces available. Okay, so just make sure if you are interested, you choose it fairly quickly. But yes, 18 spaces available this year.
Yeah, the reason for that is because, first of all, working with a bigger group makes it almost impossible for everyone to get enough leadership time. And also because it is an external course, we obviously are funding it through the school, and each place costs quite a bit of money. Okay, so only please take this course if you are really keen on doing it. Don't just take it because you think it's going to be a laugh. It's not a laugh, it's a very, very, very serious course. On that note, looking forward to careers and why would you take this course to lead into any sort of career. Any career where you need to lead people, so medicine, leading a team of doctors, any kind of business jobs, you're obviously going to have to lead a team of people, teachers and coaches, and you're going to have to work with others and lead. So there's a bit on careers there. If you have any questions, as we said earlier, email me and Miss Simpson Crick and we can answer them.
Okay.